Where's everybody? Where's Steve? Well, I think Mitt's all snug. He's gonna just stay in here where it's nice and warm in his little cushy bed, and we're gonna go down the stairs. Looks like the sun's out. Anyway, where's Steve? Hello, would you like to come outside? Come on. Are we ready to do this, Steve? Yeah, I think so. T-Rex, you're always ready, right? Jump 3 times if you're ready. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, good boy. Come on, focus. We're wearing our noise-canceling lavalier this morning due to the wind. Pretty windy, 42 degrees. And always some kind of technical issue. 3 lenses on the iPhone. It focuses on different distances with different lenses. That's why it's frustrating. 10 o'clock on Monday, November 25th. It's the last week of November, Thanksgiving in 4 days. Who has travel plans? We're between storms today, although it's still very windy. Our 5-day system, which incidentally did drop a trace of rain on my head at sunset yesterday, so that makes it 5 days. Started Wednesday night, ended Sunday night, and still having an influence because of it's stalled over Newfoundland. It's still about a 988 millibar low, and the high pressure system is stretched out from the Northwest Territories of Canada into Ontario, 1035 way up there, 1021 north of Lake Huron. So that's where our air is coming from this morning, north of Lake Huron. And it's gusting. Here are the temperatures from about 9 o'clock. I woke up real early and then I woke up again really late, so I missed the sunrise temperatures. It was in the 30s for the most part. Just a few spots were calm there. In the Adirondacks, it was in the lower 20s, and elsewhere those red numbers are wind gusts. So just about freezing at lower elevations and colder up in the sky with winds gusting 15 to 25 miles per hour. And finally, one of the cameras there from Mount Washington, there are a number of options, top of Cannon, top of Wildcat, top of Mount Washington. Well, the one at the top of Wildcat, finally the clouds cleared. What a beautiful morning there on Mount Washington, just looking like the middle of winter all of a sudden again. And you could see a little peek through the tower cam right there in the lower right at the summit this morning. The wind, it's now 3 days in a row, the wind has gone past 100 miles per hour. Yesterday it went to 121 miles per hour. And this morning at 8 o'clock, the wind gusted past 110 miles per hour, I think, this morning. So it is a wintry, windy chill. And across the Connecticut River in Vermont, the snow guns are on at the lower elevations at Stowe. And this window is closing fast. I didn't really mention it yesterday, but this cold air advection yesterday was a new infusion of cold from Canada on the backside of our 4-day storm. So now we look west for where the weather is coming from. And there's a front stretched out now from southeastern Canada down to about Missouri or so. Satellite image shows the next cloud coming at us. These upslope clouds that are in northern New England should evaporate, and with some sunshine this afternoon. So as the block releases, these low pressure systems are going to cross the nation, and one every about 36 to 48 hours aimed at New England ensures a lot of action and challenging forecasts to continue here. There's the map from the Weather Prediction Center tomorrow morning showing kind of an elongated front there from northwest to southeast, and that is kind of indicative of our block still holding in the North Atlantic, where the low is going to try and drive into Canada, but there'll be a redevelopment in the Gulf of Maine with this low coming in tomorrow. And it is going to rain and some snow and some ice in parts of New England tomorrow. A little time out here for animals enjoying the sunshine. Very pretty. And it's not really going to be a very pretty week, unless you like snow and you don't mind driving in it. If you're going skiing for Thanksgiving this week, it's going to be more wintry than we've seen, put it this way, since probably early last April. A Boston 5-day shows the little bit of rain tomorrow. Temperature spikes near 50. Look at the dew point, the blue line. Dew points are going to come out of the 20s to near 50 tomorrow. And then tomorrow night, dew point goes back down, temperature goes back down. Wednesday's looking dry. And Thursday, it looks wet and cold in southern New England. Boston, only in lower 40s, mid 40s. Wind comes in off the water, but there's a chance that we may actually get a southerly wind late Thursday. And Thursday afternoon in Boston, the sun may come out and the temperature may jump up. So there's always a challenge to these moving parts. Let's start with the system number 1 for this week that's going to come in tomorrow. And we'll use the HRRR, and green is rain coming across New York tonight, coming right into New England across the Hudson River, probably about 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. And for southern New England, probably just a couple of hours of showers or maybe a steady rain for 3 hours and maybe about 1/3 of an inch of rain, parts of southern New England. And then you see the blue and the purple and the red. Red is freezing rain, purple is sleet, and blue is snow. So higher elevations, even in central Vermont and central New Hampshire, may start as a wintry mix, go over to rain, and then just kind of end. And Maine may get a few inches of snow in parts of Maine, especially from, say, north of Mount Washington, north of Mount Katahdin in there. 2 or 3 inches of snow, not a big deal. And it will be turning colder on the backside of this. There'll be some upslope snow, but not a lot. Great Lakes snow is going to really fire up this week. That'll probably make national news how much snow falls in the lee of the Great Lakes with the colder air mass coming in, and a storm, a nor'easter type storm. So I'm just going to skip over the QPF from the HRRR and the snow. Maybe a few spots get more than a ½ inch of QPF rainfall, very close to the Maine, and I guess I am showing it, aren't I? This is just the QPF, the rainfall on the Maine and New Hampshire seacoast. Looks like some heavier amounts there, with the purple being more than a ½ inch, maybe an inch. Okay, and now if we go to the big picture, let's just go right to the Euro and talk about these storms coming in off the Pacific, one coming into central California right now, and that's going to be coming across the country fairly quickly and in pieces. And it looks like we're going to have a front stretched out from southern New England right to about Denver, Colorado, with waves of low pressure coming in here, and our southeastern ridge just strong enough to keep that low just north of Long Island. Here's the rain and snow coming in on Wednesday night. And then Thursday, blue is snow, green is rain. Note the low goes right along the Massachusetts Turnpike. Slow it way down. Thursday, slow down the map again. Why don't I just stop it late Thursday and show you that the low just north of Boston, that means that the sun could come out from Boston to America's hometown and Plymouth with a light wind from the south, even as it's a real strong wind from the north and east to the north of the low center, which is going right off the New Hampshire coast. And note to the north of New England, I should have mentioned this, there's low pressure north of New England. This low that's going by tomorrow is going to stop and turn around and go west. Again, we have this upper level low, but this time it's going to be north of us. And so instead of having high pressure north of the storm, you have low pressure north of the storm. And that's not your classic real wind whipped setup. Usually the worst storms, you have high pressure to your north. All right, now let's put this back in motion, and the same thing's really going to happen. This storm that goes through the Gulf of Maine, there'll probably be a few redevelopments, and that ends up turning north and then west again. But now we are getting into deep polar and even Arctic air. High pressure's going off to our south, so it's going to be low barometer cold, very unstable, lots of lake effect snow, upslope snow in New England, and the temperature could go down to maybe 5 below zero, 10 below zero, something like that on top of Mount Washington. So the snow guns are really going to be cranking, and it's going to be wintry look and feel in our mountains all the way out to day 10. Oh, yesterday was arrogant. I said, mark my words, that system's not going to miss us to the south on Monday. You know, it's going to miss us to the south on Sunday. So with an upper level low stalling over us next weekend, and I stop it at day 10, which is now around, what is that, Wednesday, December 4th or so. And we're just in a bunch of unstable Arctic air in much of central Canada to the eastern United States, and there'll probably be more storms forming out there. You see the precipitation over the ocean, but it's going to be very cold, hard freeze, full-on winter feel coming in here for the first week of December with storms that may sneak up, and you might not even know it's going to snow at your house, say on Cape Cod or Connecticut, until it just happens within 24, 36 hours. And we'll be here monitoring it. And the cats and the dogs just loving the sunshine. So that's the end of the weather part. For Enmore, it was a fairly lazy Sunday, but Janet said, hey, can you go get some stuff out of the garden? I'm going to make a chili in the crock pot. And I said, I'd be happy to. So yeah, we did some harvesting in the garden yesterday. Untangling Steve, going over here really quickly. So this is the last week for the garden. Roses are hanging in there, but they're not looking too happy. And this one's like, I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to bloom. So the Edmore yesterday in the backyard, watching the boats go by, and Mitt enjoying sunshine by the front door. And as the sun went down, I was going over to meet Joe and Dan and Terry and Sean, and watch the Patriots go down in flames. That was pretty ugly. All right, and more from yesterday. Thanks for watching. Talk to you in 24 hours. Into the wind. Lobster pots going to their winter storage spot. How was the season? All right, just past lunchtime. I'm not done editing, of course. Huge edit with all the parade stuff. Hour to football. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Hear the sparrow? This is not my noise canceling microphone. This is the iPhone mic on this windy Sunday afternoon. Pretty windy day. Hey Mitt, don't look now, but the sun's behind you. You might have to back up a little bit. Maybe look so cozy. And more on our Monday out the door. Everyone wants to see Mitt. At least smile. We have pets scattered all over the place this afternoon. Can you smile? Side eye. There's a little sun in the yard. Hang on, only a few more days till Thanksgiving. So Janet's making a chili for a Sunday afternoon. And she says, do we have any more peppers? And I'm proud to say, yes, we do have some more peppers. We are harvesting peppers. And there are still a couple tomatoes in there. And there's some sweet peppers underneath here. Pretty sure. Yeah, look at this. Look at that beauty. Oh my goodness. Yes, it's November, what is it, 23rd? Little guy. And she's even gonna use one of these hot peppers. And I told her you can only use a tiny bit of it. But we are using a fresh harvest here on our final Sunday of November 2024. Hang in there. And a couple minutes later, and the sun is gone. T-Rex is psyched to be outside. It's Sunday the 24th of November, 2024. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Wow, that looks kind of chilly, doesn't it? 4 points. And I forgot to mention that if you're watching the golf tournament, RMS in Georgia, that's St. Simon Islands, and the Golf Channel went aboard the tall ship Lynx over the weekend. I should have put that in the forecast. Great to see Captain Sean and Troy on the Lynx on television at the golf tournament. Well done, Captain Peacock, getting that organized over the last couple of years. Nice breeze down there. Beautiful Sunday, though. That was video from a couple days ago. Steve, what do you see? Is that a tugboat coming in? Is the tanker gonna be going out? Look at that, plowing through the water. And more and more and more. Yeah, cool, look at that crow. It's a raven. Look at a raven, 2 of them right there. Oh, this is gorgeous. Got wind. Favorite birds, putting on a show for us here on this pretty windy Sunday afternoon. That was fortuitous. Can't play on that stuff, can you, Steve? What do you see? And look at this state of the sea. That massive tugboat just plowing right into the waves and wind from the west. They say wind from the west is best. Hey, Captain. T-Rex. What's your major malfunction? Rex, you want to go in and watch the football game? Okay, I'm coming. Wicked windy. Halftime in Miami. Patriots are getting crushed. I'm gonna go meet the guys for the second half, or for an adult beverage, really, and just some bonding. And look at that. The sun almost down here. It's just not even 3 o'clock. That's a warm front over there, those clouds. All right, play us out, Captain Space-Time. Time lapse from today. The low ones are cold air advection clouds, and the higher ones are warm air advection clouds.
The block is breaking down a real active, fun weather week. Incoming, New England and much of the nation. Thanks for watching.